Well, definitely there was Richard X.
Exactly.
But we didn't really know him at the same time. Like we were doing our thing, and Errol.
Errol and us.
But Errol was doing it under the name of Curtis Rush.
Yeah, Curtis Rush.
And then when Richard X came out with his 7-inch, we were all like, oh wow, someone else is doing it too.
That's really for mashups. I think also now, I think the Soulwax brand is being used for remixes or edits or stuff like that. I don't think it's mashups anymore. That's like 8 years or 9 years ago now. And we haven't done one. I think Richard X hasn't done one. I think Errol hasn't done one in years.
That's true because
I've seen like a Boney M.
Yeah.
There was like a Boney M edit, and people said it was us, and it was Robin Dirk, it was Eric and Thomas. It's fun. I mean, to be fair, it's the how do you say that? It's what happens when everybody's online and everybody's sharing stuff, and I mean, it's sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not true.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's never been like it's something like where we go like, oh my god, we haven't done this. And on the other hand, we don't check it that much, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Dave does, I don't.
Okay.
I think the first record, when the songs that we did with him, I think when we decided to work with him together now for this one, we actually told him he had to write more songs. He had to come to the studio with songs. So for some of this, like he played us a lot of the demos, and then I think he decided to go and write with Gonzalez a little bit, and then with Jasper a little bit, and he did that, and then he came back, and then we kind of went back to it, or deconstructed it, or maybe we're like this, and I think it took some time, but I'm really happy with the result. But we wanted him to have the songs before we actually went into the studio. Now, having said that, we actually came back to some things and then made some things with him again in the studio. But yeah, the process is, he talks a lot more than Dave and me.
Yeah.
He's also one of the very few people who can actually he's really funny. So every day we would get into the studio and he would make jokes, and it was fun, it was good.
How do you say that?
Die Verboten.
Die Verboten.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you? What's the idea behind this project? I mean, because it's not really out like here in Mexico. Like no one has like their hands on it yet. So
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So how do we describe Die Verboten? Die Verboten is so it's Fergadelic, who's a friend of ours, but whom he also is a graphic designer. He plays the drums. It's Riton Henry, who's a friend of ours, and Dave and me, and we're like. The four of us got together, I think 3 years ago, I think now already, and
I think you should also mention that Fergadelic and Henry are brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
So,
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of their family and we're family.
It's all family.
And it's all family. And when we went to Ibiza to play, and Manumission always gives you Villa. And we actually decided to bring a studio there, and we recorded some tracks near the pool outside, and they were all like krautrocky, like 19 minutes, 20 minutes, and we've actually recorded an album already and 2 EPs, and we've actually had a first release, but we're very not that we're not ambitious, but we're really lazy, because it's like we want to make amazing artwork, and so Fergus made this thing where we only made a 300 copy vinyl, which just came out I think a couple of weeks ago. And if you fold it out, it makes a pyramid. And it's like all footage of Ibiza. It's called Life in Ibiza. And that's the first release. Now we're going to release some more. But we're touring, he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not... It's fun though. But it's nothing like Soulwax. It's nothing like 2MANYDJs. It's something completely different. And it's fun because it's a kind of a democratic kind of... So it's a bunch of guys coming together and making... music they kind of like, I think, and that's kind of, and it's also we try and record in environments that are kind of unconventional, like, and I think we're just actually Dave was saying today that we should come and maybe do a Verboten record here, and then we can have a pyramid like this.
Like Pt.1 should go there. Have you been there?
No, never. No. So that's the thing. Like I actually think if he would be here, like I think they would love it here.
Maybe we should do it in Tulum.
Or in Tulum, somewhere like that.
I've been to the ruins in Tulum. It's super beautiful.
It's fascinating. It's a really cool place. You should.
I mean, Diego. That helps.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, really good question.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a hard question.
I think you could also ask like, what's your favorite club to DJ or to be on? It's something like that.
But it's okay, Mom. Maybe Woom in Tokyo or something like that. Anything in Japan.
What's the name for
They
that?
can ban us anywhere, but like,
Please, not Japan.
yeah, don't take away Japan from us.
What's the name of that club?
Woom. It's
Woom.
it's the biggest. It's like one of the big like electronic club. It's where what's his name made that film. The scene with the girl that's black, that's deaf, and she goes to the club and
Oh, Babel?
Babel, yeah, Babel, the film.
Babel.
Oh yeah,
It's
Bobby.
never- the scene in Tokyo, it's an amazing club. It's a lot of footage on a DVD. It's also been filmed there. And the sound system is it's almost inhuman. So, like your body actually is tired from the sheer intensity of it. But it's the crowd is always crazy. So Japan is always good. But see, you say that and then you start thinking about but what about this? And then say last night was amazing too. There. So it's a good question. I don't know how to answer it specifically. Let's stick to one.
You feel at home there.
Oh man, Japan. Having said that, Mexico today actually proved to be it's unveiling its secrets to us, which is great. Especially that one record store.
No, we don't
Don't
read.
leave that much to do.
We don't read the new blogs, but we read all the ones with all the crazy old records.
Well, we're very much aware of them, I
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not like we use them. Oh, we use them for like, 'cause we're making the radio now, so
Yeah, we use them for all old stuff, like
Old
rare,
stuff, yeah.
rare old stuff, not for new stuff, because it hasn't really changed that much for us, but it's definitely changed the way people perceive and get
it's
music.
a good
So-
evolution. It's amazing. It's,
I don't know. I'm not. I
He's
don't
not
agree.
convinced, but I think I actually saw like this whole week here in Mexico. I really think Twitter and I think for us, it's not
That's
something
something
that
else. Blogs is something else.
I don't participate in it, but it feels like people have a lot more platforms now to share stuff, and it's democratic. You know, you choose to follow it or you don't. We're just too lazy. We're still unpacking boxes with records from all over the world. There is one guy, and I think he twitters also because Hector was subscribed to his. He's a friend of Hector's. I don't know what's it called. His Kevin's website, the official Soulwax.
No, soax.info.
Yeah, and even I go on there sometimes because somebody sends you something like, look at this, and he's somebody we know. He's been a big Soulwax fan since the early days. We actually played in his house once, and he's a really cool guy. But he has all the info. He actually made a book. He gave Dave and me a book of all those Soulwax releases and all the remixes and everything that's come out. And so he's definitely has his finger on the pulse. He sometimes knows things that we don't know, which is pretty weird, but kind of cool. So I think he's like your best, like he has all the info, like he knows what lineups we're doing with Soulwax Mass, and Dave and me, we're still thinking, it's with this guy, and then it's like, no, it's there, and he's like, no, you're doing this, and then you're doing a radio interview for this, and we're like, how do you know?
You gotta be there. You gotta be at.
But
the
he's an
airport.
amazing guy. He's really cool.
Good.
We once played. He won a contest, and it was a Soulwax plays at your house or something, and we had a
you
tour
did
bus,
that.
and we did, and our tour bus was in front of his mom and dad's house, and you couldn't see the house anymore. That's really cool. That's really fun.